Got to figure out what that all is. Are we good, Kels?
We are all good.
All right. Listen, before we get rolling here, I'll just share something with you. So the first meeting we had with the defense the other night, but I just felt compelled to tell them, don't ever take this for granted. Like, it gets hard out here and all that. And I told them, look, at my age, I'm happy to be in the first meeting at training camp, have a job, be healthy enough to do it, right? But these guys don't realize how fast it goes by. I'm realizing it now. But I could see them all when I was talking to them, all nodding. So I think they get it. But we're happy to be here and having some fun out there going against the offense. Not every play was fun, but most of them we did some good things. So with that, I'll just open up and let you roll.
Do you share that story every year, or just you felt compelled to do this?
I don't know if probably somewhere in training camp I say that. Listen, I love training camp. Like, I love going. Much joy being out here and being all football 24/7 as I do on game day, but I don't know, maybe because I'm getting up there in age, I think about it a little bit more, but I think they all got the message, which is good.
Now that George has signed a long-term deal, can you maybe expand on why he's so important to the defense and why he's such a great fit for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, probably the first thing that sticks out with George is his character. I mean, the one thing that Brett and Andy do a great job of, we bring in a lot of good character guys. That's huge, in my opinion, in today's pro sports, because usually when you're a high character guy, you're unselfish. George has got all of that, and then his ability and his intelligence. I mean, I can remember when Joe and I did the Zoom call with George, because I think he was the COVID draft. You guys would remember better than me, and I just remember that came out in a Zoom interview. All of that, how much he loved football, high character guy. And Brett does a great job keeping those guys here.
Speaking of offense, we were talking about, there's good plays, there's bad plays. They were trying to emphasize going deep much more often.
Yeah.
Just for you, just trying to get your guys to defend that. And when do you see those observations?
Yeah, I'd say, I don't like them when they happen. However, because look at, you can't touch the quarterback, so it's a longer down. But hopefully it makes us better in eliminating those, because those will kill you in the game. I can remember one or two there today. But listen, the offenses will make us better by doing that in terms of taking away those deep plays, because big plays and explosive plays in this league, when you give them up, usually that doesn't bode well for points allowed. So they help us there. And then the one thing we try to do, like, I'm going to flip it around, like you always see our guys kind of punching at the football, which we emphasize. I just think it helps the offensive guys, cling to it. Yeah, I'm real excited about Jamari. I just watch him out there. He's become a little bit of a multiple position guy, which is a good thing. I think you're going to see him you're certainly going to see him at nickel. You're going to see him at safety. And then if we get into some more exotic personnel packages, he'll be in there. I think he's an explosive athlete we got to get out on the field.
Steve, it's sort of related to what you were saying before, but Patrick often talks about how he benefits from going against your defenses in camp. I wonder if you think of it that way in terms of challenges you try to pose him specifically, but also what it does do for you guys to work against him.
With all the things that the offense does?
Yeah. Specifically, too, like how it's a challenge for him.
Yeah, listen, more than anything, Patrick out here makes us play the hold down. I'm always yelling at Chris because he's not pass rushing the hold down, so I gotta get him out. But I tell him not to chase him too much. I don't want to pull. What was that week that we chased Patrick and we pulled the? It was like playoff or something, right?
Playoff,
yeah. So we got a special rule for Chris on that. But getting back to for what he does and what we do offensively, I think that makes us be prepared for a lot of things during the year.
And do you think specifically of him in some ways as you
Patrick? Yeah, because this league, listen, it seems like every week, it's probably not it. There aren't very many quarterbacks in the league now that aren't athletic, dynamic, extend the down. And Patrick does this every snap here, and that makes us better.
Go ahead, Nate.
Steve, it appears that Andy's sort of message to the guys is about urgency, using that as a word to sort of emphasize camp. How do you, with your guys' balance, trying to appreciate every day, it's long, but also emphasize urgency, the balance between those two things?
Yeah. So we normally talk about building a foundation. We always saying rock solid foundation. And listen, I try to, it gets shorter and shorter every year in my opinion. It feels like it, the preparation to get ready. And we were hopeful, and I think most of the guys did a good job of it. When they left after the OTAs, that had to still be a work time for them. Because when you get here, you can't. In 1983, I was an intern with the Washington Redskins. We went to training camp on July 6th. There was 120 rookies for 2 weeks. There were 6 preseason games because there were 14 games then, right? And so you had all this, you had all this time in training camp to kind of get your body ready. That's what the vets did. It's different now. So the sense of urgency to be ready when you come in and then build it as we're here is really important. But to us right now, it's all about building the foundational pieces that we need during the season.
We're going to go Matt, and then we'll do our last one on the day.
Coach, you mentioned, just not lasting forever. Tyrann Mathieu announced his retirement yesterday. Your thoughts on just his career and what he meant.
Yeah, Matt, I'm glad you brought that up. These young guys with the phones and stuff, it was like they immediately knew. I didn't know. I just had I love, how I feel about Tyrann. I'm waiting right now to send a text or a phone call because I know he's getting inundated. But I'm going to try to probably get him on the day off. Special guy. I mean, we came here in 2019, Tyrann and I together, and he was a key piece to what we were doing. And we started off a little rough, but got better and better. But I love Tyrann Mathieu. I'm really excited for what he'll do something great going forward. He might end up being the president. Who knows? I mean, he's a dynamic guy, but I think he'll stay somehow in athletics or football. That's my guess.
You also mentioned, back in OTAs, Noah Williams was swimming.
Yeah.
How's he looking now?
Much better. Yeah, I think those guys, when they come in young, it's the volume gets on them. It's all new. There's anxiety. But I thought he came in pretty good shape coming in here, and I'm excited to see what he can do right on through. We're going to get him against some better competition as we go, and we'll see what he can do.
Last one right over here.
Heading into another training camp with Nick, obviously got to extend him in the offseason. What has he meant to this defense over the years?
Yeah, he's just about everything, He's Patrick Mahomes for us. I've said this before, and we're pretty multiple defensively. So if you don't have that guy, it gets really challenging. I had back when we didn't know we were getting Nick, because it was I had to, in my mind, I was preparing. If we don't have Nick, what do we do? And it's just not the same. So thank God he's here. Yeah.
Thanks,
That it? Good. Enjoy.
You retiring. Take us back to when Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark joined the team, what they brought to the defense, and how they helped build the championship.
Me and Spags had the conversation about T5 yesterday. T5 is like one of his favorite players, and I told Spags, I think I'm in the next in line. But he brought a sense of leadership, him and Frank Clark, sense of tenacity that this team was missing to get over that hump to win a ring. And we created a lot of special moments with those guys.
Steve was just mentioning how not take this for granted. And I know that message was out to the young guys, but how do you take that message when Steve says not take this for granted, even though it's training camp, it's St. Joe, it's hot, you guys work out?
Well, you never know how many more of these training camps you got, man. As players, naturally, we want this to last forever, but physically, the body takes a toll. And over time, you get to see that the younger guys are faster, you're a little slower, and you don't move the same. So you definitely got to cherish these moments, cherish these individuals that you get to battle with every day, and enjoy the process.
Chris, you were joking yesterday a little bit with George. What did it mean for you, the team, to take care of him and get here along time?
I mean, George, you watch over the years how he's progressed and how his game has grown, and I'm so proud to have my boy back for the next 5 to 6 years, man. And he worked his butt off for it. He didn't take any shortcuts, didn't cut any corners, and I'm super proud. He's been all in, and the Chiefs did right by him.
Chris, when you said just a realization that maybe some young guys start to get faster and stuff, it seemed like maybe you had that realization a couple of years ago just with the offseason and work that you put in, is that part of your motivation in the offseason, just knowing that you want to prepare for a long haul?
Not at all. Listen, these guys are getting bigger, stronger, and faster. Physically wise, I stay in some really good shape throughout the offseason. These guys in college are built different now, man. And you got a guy like Omar, 315, who can run like a 4.7, 4.8, that's just where the game is at right now. For me, I just focus on what I can control, stay in shape, and try to be the best me every day.
What have you seen from Omar so far?
He's young, but he has a lot of raw talent. He's going to be a great asset for the D-line. He can rush the passer, quick out of the stance, and got to work on his technique and fundamental, but I think he's going to be a great asset for us this upcoming season.
Can you take us through the other end of the story that Spags just told about you chasing down Patrick and maybe there's a new rule in play?
I didn't know he was going to tell all my business. He's known for that. We have a rule in practice. Once I cross the line of scrimmage or beat a player, I can't chase Patrick because, Patrick does some crazy stuff behind the line of scrimmage at times, and it gets very competitive out there because, you can't touch the quarterback, so the quarterback can extend and hold the ball for like 5 or 6 seconds after the play. So we was in a battle, and I had to show Pat that I can really catch you. I just chilled after I beat the guy because we got to stay 5 to 10 yards away from the quarterback. And they got serious one day and ended up pulling the groin. I was like, you know what, Pat, you got it. Spags had a one-on-one with me, pulled me aside. I didn't know he was just going to come out here and tell all my business today. I wanted it to stay low-key, but it's out there. No. It was a couple years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. It's Delulu. It was during the season, like right before a playoff game. Right before the Super Bowl in Miami. I was like out it was during that week. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right.
What are you seeing from Isiah and Josh Simmons, two guys that they're battling for a spot, have a lot of youth, but also a lot of talent. What are you seeing from them on the offensive line?
Great competition. We got a lot of moving parts amongst the offensive line, a lot of new faces, and it's a good competitive battle. Good for us also as D-line that we can get after them. And you got to enjoy this competition, man. I think we've reiterated this over the years. We have one of the hardest training camps, and I think after this training camp, they'll be able to evaluate and see who's the best fit for it. But I actually like it because, the change up amongst the offensive line, you got so many guys that can play so many different places, guard, tackle, that it makes us better on the offensive line. Also challenge us as the defensive line.
Last one then.
Chris, talk about controlling what you can control. I know you want to win a Super Bowl, but individually, what's left for you to accomplish? What's your individual goals?
Well, what I'm focused on right now is trying to grow this mustache out. The right side is patchy. No, man, getting better every day, honestly. Competing every day, making sure I set the standard for the D-line. I think we was top 20 in sacks last year, which I completely take accountability for. We got to get back at it, rushing the quarterback amongst us 4 without blitzing, and making sure we're on our stuff. I was about to say it. I held my mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Go for pop.
So you feel like you're fresh out there, 100%. How are you feeling out there as you get ready?
Mamisita. No, I'm just playing. I'm feeling really good, having fun with the guys, excited to be back out here in this environment. It's a beautiful setting.
How much better do you feel now physically and with the leg compared to when you came back last year?
Mentally, physically prepared, and just excited to be around the guys. I love being around them. It brings a culture that's all about.
You mentioned maybe you added a little bit of weight for this season. Like, what are some of the things that you did in the offseason to try to prepare your body for this year?
Mentally got with a trainer and ate a lot of food, had fun with the fam, and enjoy the moment, but most importantly, took those days where I was able to work and took advantage of it.
Do you feel like you learned something about yourself going through everything last year? You feel like you learned something about yourself going through everything last year?
Definitely. Just finding ways to get better, and most importantly, building off of last year. Came around this time last year, I was feeling good, feeling healthy about myself. Went into the season, 2 games in, got injured, so now it's around that time where didn't play too much football, so this is my time to get back on the grind and just took advantage of that offseason.
Together with Kareem and Elijah, how would you describe the running back room as a whole?
Oh, it's phenomenal. We got guys that you can't, depend on. As far as saying that they're only doing one thing, you can't just say that about us. You got guys just playing all different roles, having fun with it, and just competing.
How would you describe your relationship with Andy Reid?
Oh, it's a great relationship. It reminds me of all my coaches that I played for. I love playing for all those coaches, and it makes me play harder for knowing how much he cares about his guys.
With Rashard Smith, you see him out here with Tony Hicks. You have that role as a rookie. Just wondering what kind of role you have, relationship you have with him, knowing that maybe he's on a little bit of a similar trajectory.
Oh, it's great. He's a 7th-round pick, and I had that similar role. And when I came in here, and it's finding ways to get better, and that's on the special teams, wherever it may be, building the relationship with guys so you could learn a little bit more about them. And as far as the game itself, competing.
A few years ago, you had a goal of getting 1,000 yards. What are your goals coming into this season?
Same thing, 1,000 yards. Let's go get it.
To follow up on the Rashard thing, how much can playing special teams help integrate you into the offense as well?
It builds you for those moments where, coach, we might be in a playoff game and you might took that rep in camp and you were that guy that had the backup and now you're in because that guy's hurt. So just having that mental rep for when the opportunity comes, it sets itself and you're prepared for the moment.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fire away.
How you doing?
How did Justin Reed help you when he was here as a mentor, and what did he mean to you with your development as a young player?
It meant a lot, honestly. I mean, I still talk to him to this day. Ask him questions as far as livelihood, how to manage life after football, without football, obviously, because he had a lot of businesses he does outside of sport. And then obviously in the grass, I feel like just learning his IQ. He's been in the league different years, longer years than me, different system as well. So he has a little bit more IQ for certain things. So I obviously always ask him questions, feeding into it. I also know he has a baby girl as well. So now we talking on that aspect too as far as family. So that's a big bro that I'm gonna take with me outside of football.
You feel like that's a leadership role that you can step into now that you've been in the league for a couple of years and he's moved on?
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. But, I lead in my own way. You feel me? We got a lot of leaders on this team, different faces. But at the end of the day, the train keep going.
Bryan, what tells you James Hicks is ready for an elevator?
One more time, sir?
What tells you James Hicks is ready for an elevator goal?
One, I feel like his capacity to learn. He's learning at a very rapid rate, which is pretty good, and as well as the fact that he's always high energy, things like that. So sometimes if some of our vets are a little low that day, he will bring the energy, bring the juice. And then I said, like I said before, he's always ready to learn.
Bryan, when you look at the way the offense is trying to throw the ball deep a lot, when you look at it from a defensive standpoint, how would you evaluate you guys in that area last year? How much does them working on that help maybe you guys work on?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
The downfield passing game that the offense has been throwing at you, how would you evaluate how you guys were defending that a year ago, and how much does it help you sort of prepare for
I mean, it helps a lot. We got the pieces back, which I know Patrick is very happy about. And for us, we can grease up the hamstrings, make sure we, ready to run. And the challenges are on cylinders. Anybody at any given time can go deep. Pause for some of y'all, be medium crazy. At any, alignment. So for us, I think just having awareness of who on the field and where they at definitely does, help our IQ for sure.
Bryan, last year your rookie deal. Just how do you view this year for yourself?
Honestly, just being myself. It's been a long career. I have my ups and downs, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, things like that. But I have a wife, I have kids, and other than them, everything else is kind of just icing on the cake.
How is fatherhood going for you?
Best thing in the world, man. Yeah, best thing in the world. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
Go ahead, Matt, and then
Tyrann Mathieu left this team just before you got here, but you ever watch what he did with the Chiefs, and was he a player that you watched when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, for sure. He transcended the game at LSU. I know I watched a lot of his highlights growing up, and then even when I came into the building, being able to watch him, in the NFL time, as far as like me stepping into some of the same type of rim and field, and understanding how he plays the game and how it transcended. But honestly, just keep learning from him as well as other players that came before me. So he definitely is the person that I look up to as far as understanding the game, understanding the play style, and one of them smaller guys who has a lot of heart. So definitely keep that in the repertoire for me.
Go ahead, Nate.
Brian, I know a lot of you guys from the 22 class have not experienced a playoff loss until the Super Bowl.
Say it again?
You and the rest of the guys from the 22 draft.
No, I just wanted to hear it.
Yeah. Had not lost postseason to a Super Bowl. How much of that was discussed during the offseason? How much was that a motivation or an inspiration for you individually or perhaps as a group?
We took a heartbreaking loss. But at the same time, we looked up and we didn't realize that we accomplished history too for the most franchise wins. So it's just understanding too what the ultimate goal is and why we do this. Why we come to training camp, why we wake up at certain times of the day, and obviously putting things into your body as far as like replenishing and things like that. It's all for that bigger goal. And for us to come short was unfortunate. But you look at the bright side, like I went to 3 straight in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the league, so that's all I know. So my first postseason loss to being the Super Bowl, I'll take that any day of the week.
We're going to go last to Matt and Steve.
Brian, you guys try to catch the Cincinnati-Nebraska game in Kansas City?
Yeah, definitely try. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited though. I went home too for it, so I'm excited. My coaches and some of the guys are there. I'm excited for what they got going. I know Coach Merritt, his son played for Nebraska, don't he? Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. So
what's your confidence level that Cincinnati will beat Nebraska next month at Arrowhead?
I'm very confident. That's into what I've seen from my team. I don't know what Nebraska has, but I'm going to cheer against a team I don't know. Cheer for a team I don't know.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep, appreciate it.